Hello, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the session. Hope everybody is doing well. Happy Friday. We've made it to the end of another week. Right, let's get stuck in, folks. So fundamentally, today, I have to say, folks, I can't see who's here and who isn't. For whatever reason, the attendees box is blank for me. So just be aware of that. So if you're here, please let me know. Brett, Najam, etc. Ryan, thanks, Ryan. Good to see you. Mark Anthony's here. Carolyn may or may not be, she had to nip out. And it may be Najam here, I hope he is. Yeah. Okay, so what we're looking at today is there's optimism regarding China and the US and the trade talks that are due to take place in Switzerland. Good old Switzerland playing that neutral card, and that is supporting sentiment as we start the session. If you just take a look at equity futures, all higher. Euro Stoxx DAX higher, FTSE higher, China 50 higher, far higher, VIX lower. So everyone's optimistic around the world that there's going to be some kind of deal. Now, US trade senior trade advisor Navarro is saying there's going to be a flurry of deals announced over the weekend. And Trump has said that he wants to bring China tariffs down to 50%, but then, typical Trump, he then said, well, 80% sounds about right. So just be aware, we could see quite a few kind of, choppy headlines today. And it could be news driven. And on top of that, we've got all these Fed speakers going on. So we've got Goolsbee at 3, got Williams speaking at the moment. We've had Purley, we got Barr at 3:40, and we got William at 4:30. So we've got a whole flurry of Fed speakers. Trade data is very weak. There isn't a whole lot going on. But the broad sentiment is positive, but it's going to be vulnerable to headlines. So keep the squawk on and look for opportunities as and when we see them. Taking a look at the time price opportunity for the E-mini, let's just have a little look at that. What you can see is we can see price, right, tested this 5660 but failed to break down, right? It's a neutral to bullish outlook. We're opening out inside of yesterday's TPO. We've had a pullback here to the 5660. That 5672 point of control daily pivot point has held, and we're trying to push up above this. So if we can sort of break above this high, then we're looking like we can run up to 5710, maybe higher. Okay, so as it currently stands, this is the session base 5650. This is structural support. If we get underneath 5660, then look for selling. If we get up to that 5700, watch out for potential sellers reloading at yesterday's value area high in the TPO. Okay, so just got to be careful of that. But the momentum is positive. We've got broad support to the downside. If we take a look at the actual order flow, right, we can see it more clearly with buyers trapping sellers, and now we've got some sellers potentially getting trapped here at the 5706. So we remain looking for buying opportunities. Okay, that does remain the case that we're looking for if we can still keep moving higher. Underneath 5660 here, then we're looking for shorts. Value areas that we can see, we've got big one here on the left. We've also got this decent sort of support area that's just sat in the same region at 5660. And we've got a bit of an overhead resistance just at this 5720, 57200 region. You can see we've hit that zone and we've pulled back from it. So we're just kind of in between area. Be careful, because yesterday we got value area high up here and we got all this sort of consolidation up here, and you can see this area here was the area where we dropped, right? That sort of resistance moved up to those lows and have dropped. Now we're heading up to that area, so we need to break above 5715, and then 5720, 5730 could be on the cards. Looking at the hourly chart, we've got value area low in this 5690 region, key support, and you've got big sellers here at the 5730. So a push above that, then that's great for buyers. Other than that, we've got inventory is positive from the overnight session. So that bullish bias remains in play. And on the 15-minute...
Moving to Fed's Barkin says it is not a given that firms can raise prices on tariffs.
You've got buyers trapping those sellers, big buy area, buyer trapping these sellers here. If we get to 2 minutes and we stay above 5706, then we can look for buy opportunities from this region. So just got to see what we get. 5706. Look if that holds above. And if it does hold above, then we're looking for buyers. So projections, probably now expecting a test up to that 5715.
Kremlin says Russia and US discussed gas supply to Europe. This is, of course, in fitting with earlier reports we've seen in the week.
Right, so if we move up to that 5715, that will be a good area for potential taking profit. If we move back down to this 5690, I'd expect support on a first. And then if we go underneath 5660, then we're looking at moving through to this value area and then potentially moving down to the 5650 region.
Just making you aware, under 1 minute time, we are expecting Feds Williams on Bloomberg TV.
So buyers have gained short-term control. These sellers got exhausted. We just need to watch for sort of stalling up here. But for now, right, we have been able to hold above this 5672 region. We've been able to push up, and we're looking at sellers getting trapped here at the 5706. Hey, good morning, Konstantinos. Good to see you. Happy Friday. Just had a nice sort of trade opportunity here with these buyers trapping those sellers, and we're looking at these buyers trapping these sellers. So that bullish bias is still in place. So if these buyers trap these sellers at that 5706, then we're looking at a buy opportunity from the 5706, which is just here. 5706 here. Now let's see whether that actually trapped those sellers or not. Yeah, so we're now in a nice buy area, and this area is a buy area. Let's see if we get some sellers trapped. If we get some sellers trapped, then we can look for a continuation to the upside, and that's what my initial focus is
Just
on.
making you aware.
We're just about to get stuck in, and we've got some pretty strong price action just as we head on. You can just see here on the 15-minute chart, we've just got a nice situation where buyers have trapped sellers here. So looking for a pullback here for buying opportunities. And it looks like we're going to get one here. Let's just see. Not quite. Yeah, here we go. Got some buyers trapping the sellers. That's suitable for a quick buy there. I like that. Those buyers on volume, right? Just trapping these sellers trying to get trapped as well. So could see a run up here. So just entered a couple of longs. Do like that.
Feds Williams just talking about how markets are very focused on the downside risks at the moment.
If you see those sellers there, you see, right? Those sellers trapped, these sellers trapped, and see if I get a little run.
Appear convinced Fed will get inflation back to 2%.
Maybe get a little bit more here. See, this is a. We'll do the rundown in a minute. I'm just going to sort of manage this trade as we go. And also, so you got those sellers trapped there, lots of sellers trapped. Might get a little bit more out of this. Let's see what we can get. Hit that second standard deviation, so I'm just conscious of that. Let's see if we can just get a run up to that 5710 maybe. And then trail another position, that could be good. And you can see just those buyers there trapping those sellers, that was the catalyst, and on decent volume. And you can see the 15-minute folks trapped. See buyers trapping those 15 minutes, trying to push out of this high as well. All right, so it's a nice kind of area. All right, I'm going to put one position there, just locking that in underneath that second standard deviation. There we go. Okay, so that's taken profit on one position at the 5,710. Second,
more from Feds Williams. It does say now is an inflection point between the hard and the soft data. Says the hard data is telling us the US economy is good right now.
There's quite a lot of positive delta there. So I've just put just brought the stop up underneath that 5,707. Okay, so that one position there taken off as we've hit those highs. Nice bit of delta spiking. But just putting this under the 1 minute there. That's it. There's these buyers coming in. Just see where else we've got. Little uptick. Yeah, that's quite nice. You can see this carry on up. Let's just see.
More from Feds Williams. It does note that the next few quarters will help illuminate the economy's state of affairs.
Got Feds Williams speaking at the moment. Okay, I'm just going to move this up into the next. So just moving that up there under this 1 minute candle. See if we can get a little breakout here. That would be nice. We're above that second standard deviation. Drop to the 5, you can see it's a nice strong candle on delta. Looks like just wasn't quite taken out there. Delta positive, rising.
Just making you aware, Feds Williams
Hey Mark,
set to appear on Bloomberg TV in about 10 minutes time.
Good to see you.
Calendars originally had him scheduled for about 5 minutes from now, but was pushed back. We have, of course, heard from him recently and in the morning, so I'm not expecting too much different, although the possibility is open to hear different remarks. Did, of course, say earlier, inflation will return to 2%. There's still things.
Yeah, just in action. Just a very simple trade, Mark Anthony, with these buyers here, right? Trapping the sellers. Got to pull back. See those buyers there? Trap the sellers. So just on the 1 minute chart, got the sellers trapped, right? And you can see here, sellers trapped on volume, enter 2 positions. Then we had that nice bit of volume up to the upside, taken 1 position off of that, and then I'm trailing it on the 1 minute chart. Bit of negative delta coming in now, and I'm trailing it just at the 5,709. So just staying with it, but you got these highs up here, so you can see a pullback. I think I'm about to get that trailing stop's about to be hit. Oh, still there, holding. As soon as I finish this, I'll get on with the rundown. There we go. Okay, so that's it. That's the trade out, and nice couple of positions. Got a nice little move on them. All right, straightforward, simple. And there we go. And if you get these sellers trapped, again, you might see a little bit more upside. Second standard deviation holding for now.